So I would like to call this meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Harold Lemos.
I'm here.
Kathleen DeWolf.
Here.
Casey Barney. Here. Lee Sharps.
Here.
Fran Newton here. Before we get started with the regular meeting, we do have a public hearing. The first is on the rehabilitation of Harvey Heights Ledgewood Estates Apartments. Community Development Block Grants funds are available to municipalities throughout the New Hampshire Community Development Finance Authority, CDFA. Up to $500,000 annually is available for economic development, up to $500,000 for public facility and housing projects, and up to $350,000 for emergency activities. Up to $12,000 is available per feasibility study grants. All projects must directly benefit a majority of low and moderate income persons. This is a proposed application to the Community Development Finance Authority for up to $500,000 in community development block grant funds. The town will retain some of the CDBG funds to cover administrative expenses and lend the bulk of the funds to Lakes Region community developers or a related entity to be determined. These funds will be used for rehabilitation of 40 existing units of affordable housing at Harvey Heights, also known as Ledgewood Estate Apartments, 40 Ledgewood Lane in Ashland, New Hampshire. The rehabilitation project will improve health and safety conditions on the property, provide energy efficiency and other upgrades to enhance long-term affordability, and improve the exterior appearance of the property. The apartments will remain affordable for low and moderate income individuals for a minimum of 20 years. And this project conforms with Ashland's Housing and Community Development Plan goal of housing. Encourage a varied stock of safe, sanitary, decent, and affordable housing for persons of all age and income groups, short and long-term goal. Would you like to introduce yourself and say a few more words about this?
Sure. Hi, my name is Carolyn Snell. I'm the project manager at Lakes Region Community Developers. Most of you were here, I'm going to say Kathleen, last year. So this is our second try at this. We acquired Ledgewood Estates about 2 years ago now. The mortgage was going to expire on the property, therefore losing the subsidy for its residents. We were able to purchase the property, therefore retaining the subsidy and keeping it affordable to those living there. Unfortunately, the property was built in the 70s. It's in pretty rough shape right now, and we'd like to get everything up online as far as fire safety goes, upgrades to the electrical, general upgrades to the apartments themselves, as well as making it more energy efficient. So
Okay.
That's what we're hoping for with this.
Great, thank you. Are there any public comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, I will close this public hearing on the rehabilitation of Harvey Heights Ledgewood Estate Apartments. Now I'd like to open a second public hearing on the Residential Anti-Displacement and Relocation Assistance Plan. This plan states in general that if the town were to undertake a CDBG project which involved displacement and resulting relocation, they would follow the Uniform Relocation Act requirements. The Residential Anti-Displacement of Relocation Assistance Plan outlines the measures they would take to find comparable housing for persons or businesses displaced and/or relocated. This project will require some temporary relocation. Residents will be relocated to empty units on site, to modular units on site, or to other properties owned by Lakes Region community developers. LRCD will pay temporary relocation costs for eligible households. Would you like to say anything in addition to that?
Just that, we have to follow fair housing law.
Okay.
Relocation requirements, and we would be responsible for all costs associated with that, and the town of Ashland would not be responsible for any.
Thank you. Are there any public comments or questions? Seeing none, I will close this public hearing on the Residential Anti-Displacement and Relocation Assistance Plan. So now we need to vote on this Residential Anti-Displacement and Relocation Assistance Plan. And we need to vote to approve the submittal of the application and vote to authorize the chairman of the Board of Selectmen to sign and submit the CDBG application, and upon approval of the CDB application, to authorize the chairman Board of Selectmen to execute any documents which may be necessary to effectuate the CDBG contract and any amendments thereto. So I would like a motion to approve the displacement and relocation certification.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussions? All those in favor of approving the displacement and relocation certification, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, all in favor. Now, we need a motion to approve the submittal of the application, authorizing me to sign the application as appropriate.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, I think we're all set then. Thank you very much, and good luck,
Do you think it's
ladies.
going to go through this year?
We will get these
It
signed.
wasn't the CDBG that was the problem, that was awarded, it was the bigger funder, the New Hampshire Housing Finance Authority.
Right.
So they
Okay.
usually do a couple a year.
Yep,
Yeah.
We're hoping this is the year.
well, good luck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're very
We'll wear them
welcome.
down eventually.
Hang up on that.
So before we get started on the agenda, I know we have at least public comments from Mr. Kendall Hughes, who's going to give us an update on the 4th of July. Kendall?
So I'm Kendall B. Hughes.
Kendall B. Hughes.
So we have these nice brochures that were printed, and we have distributed approximately 4,000 of them at this point in time. So we're really happy with that. We had a late minute change in the entertainment. Mr. Art Harriman, who has done this for many, many, many years, prior to him coming back from California, he had a fall, and he got injured.
Oh, that's too bad.
He has some stitches, and he's actually come to my office, and we talked on the phone a couple times, and he was almost in tears as he asked me, I can't do it. You've got to get someone to replace it. So I talked with Harold because of the farmer's market thing. Harold was able to get us in contact with Just Because,
Oh, good.
which is Ed Bernard. He has agreed to fill in for Art and do his duties. He's going to do the auction, and he's going to do the pie auction. It's
Okay.
really an auction.
Okay.
It's apple pies. He's going to do that, and then he's going to do his singing thing.
Great.
So we have talked to, I gave a message to Charlie through the office today. I've talked to Linda, and you have paperwork there to void his check and to issue a new check to Just Because.
Okay.
Talked to Ed about it, and he's like, whenever you get it, it's fine.
Okay.
It's no big deal. And he knows it came in afterwards.
Okay.
Fireworks are going fine. They'll be here at 10 o'clock. We coordinated that with the chief, and I also talked with the police chief today, and a couple of things that he asked us to look at, we've looked at, and are adjusting. 11 o'clock, people are coming to the ballpark to set up for the event. You have before you the volunteer forms for the event tomorrow. Anything else I missed there, Harold?
4th of July, the parade ends at the ball.
Yeah, I'm just doing the fireworks stuff first.
Did you say the fireworks go off at 10?
No, fireworks will go off at 9:30. They'll
Okay.
be done 10:30.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
Good, thank you.
The parade starts at 10. So moving on to the parade, I just got informed about a little car issue that I need to now take care of. I need another car, so if anyone knows of a convertible, let me know. It'll be okay.
Do you have Amanda Loud's?
I do not.
She's in France.
Oh, that's
Okay.
that's right.
Yep.
So her
Okay.
car will be available.
Yeah, right.
Tom Smith
I know where it is.
from Dana Hill has offered his 64 Studebaker for our Grand Marshal.
Okay.
So he will be riding in that. And then we also have 2 Mustangs, Franz and a lady from my office
Great,
that will be ferrying people as well.
wonderful.
Nice.
Unfortunately, we will not have the Boston Post cane holder this year, as one has not yet been appointed.
Okay. Not old enough, Lee, but thank you for thinking of me. Getting there.
I have had a couple walkers call and a couple animal people calling and have backed out because of the excessive
Yeah.
heat.
Oh, yeah. Don't blame
Our
them.
biggest concern is the heat.
Yeah.
I've talked with Chief Heath, and we will be having a cooling station set up down there at on the ballpark grounds.
Okay.
We have 3 very large fans that we can use. We'll use as we need them. And we have buckets of ice and ice towels and
Great.
stuff for any of that. And Ms. Barney has the beach booster house on standby if a bigger cooling issue is needed.
Okay, great.
So,
Well,
Great, looks like a good event.
and the parade will end at the ballpark. And depending on the weather, we will do the flag raising or not, depending on the heat.
Got it.
So,
Can't control that,
any
unfortunately.
questions, let me know. I'm here because Fran can't be here
Yeah.
tonight.
Well, thank you, Kendall, and please give our best to Art Harriman and hope that he's recovered soon.
Alex is going to still do the MCing.
Oh, good.
And he said that hopefully he can get Art to do a cameo appearance with him
Okay.
at night.
Good. Wouldn't be the same
And
without him.
the lady singing the national anthem is Jackie Phelps' daughter,
Okay,
so
great.
does very good. She's in music school.
Okay.
So you have a question there?
no, I didn't have a question. I just wanted to note that I have been officially appointed by the Record Enterprise to take 4th of July photos, which I will be turning over to the 150th committee for their book.
Great.
Excellent. Sue Harville is also taking photographs to document stuff, and I can
Good.
get those to you as well.
Okay, great.
So,
Great. Thank you.
Perfect. You're welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Kendall.
I think the
Kendall
only
B.
thing, I think the only thing I'd like to add to that, being a father to some young children this year, we have a lot of activities set up for children. We have a lot of children games. We have a lot of reminiscent of when I was younger, when you have the ring toss and you have, the down home type things that we haven't had the last couple of years or the last 10 years they're coming back. It's coming
Yes.
full circle.
So we have 4 different types of ring toss games and some cornhole games. We also,
Sounds like something I could even do.
yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's not just for the kids.
Excellent.
You can win some prizes.
And we went to Oriental Trader and bought prizes, little trinket prizes
great.
for them. So
Wonderful.
it'll be nice. Girl Scouts have offered to run that for us.
Great.
Great.
So that would be awesome.
Sounds like a good day.
Yep. should
Thank
be.
you so much. Appreciate it.
Hope the rain holds on.
Yeah, the rain is not what I'm worried about. It's the heat I'm worried about. Any other public comments? Okay, moving on, we have minutes of June 18th. Are there any comments or corrections?
Yes, I have it on page 3, line 32. Just want to clarify, I didn't speak, I spoke to DES, it was 2 years ago.
Okay,
It wasn't just like recently. yeah.
okay.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
It was during the when we were replenishing the sand at the beach.
June 2016.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Anything else? Any other comments, corrections?
I do.
Yes, Lee.
I have a few.
Okay.
And they're all in the same section under 37 select board items, Wendy. And I'll go slowly.
Yeah.
Under select board items, what line?
The first one would be 39. There's 2
Okay.
from.
Oh.
On line 40.
Form from.
No,
Inquiry form from.
Oh, you're right.
Right.
Form
Right.
from.
It
the
is,
town
it's
office,
correct.
so
It
that's
is
form
correct,
from.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like from,
It does.
but it's
It
form
does.
from.
When you say it, yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong glasses.
Mm.
Line
Fire.
40, it should say.
You could put
is
document.
Turn around, it should be has always been instead of been always.
Mm-hmm.
So it has always been.
Yep.
Yeah, and then line 42, it should say cited should be CITED.
Yes.
41 at the end.
Yeah, 40, yeah,
Oh,
41
yeah,
at the end,
see,
she's
that's
cited.
That's my
Yeah,
The other side
And
is,
then I'd like to
Yeah.
add a
Okay.
couple things.
okay.
On 42, after it says, she cited reasons for this change, and I would like to add in there, including no legal reason to respond to any inquiry by the Board of Selectmen, and that the form is a courtesy form and not a legal town document or a legal town policy.
Right.
Have one more
Yep.
thing. And then at the end, we've got to add, the board agreed to work on a new revised form at their next work session. On a new revised courtesy form
Yes,
at their next work session.
So you
Great.
can add that on line 43.
At the bottom.
yeah.
Please.
Mhm.
That's it.
Anybody, anything else? Yes, Wendy?
I'm adding, Chief Heath asked me to add to the motion on page 2, line 9. It says, approve the payment request form 2. He wanted me to add, to authorize community leasing partners to release final payment to Toyne in the amount of.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Anything else? In that case, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes of June 18th as amended.
Make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Any further discussions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, consent agenda. Oh, sorry,
Hold on,
Charlie.
I have something else
All right.
that came up today.
Okay,
For our minutes, they need to be revised. We went into non-public on June 4th before the cameras are here,
yeah,
and the minutes were sealed
yes,
under C, and it doesn't say that on the minutes, so it
Okay.
needs to.
all right. Thank you, Charlie. A motion to approve the revised minutes of June 4th
Yeah, it just says the Board of Selectmen minutes were sealed.
as amended.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay.
Thanks.
All right, consent agenda. For the week of June 18th, the accounts payable is in the amount of $170,521, and the payroll, $17,061. On June 25th, the payroll is $17,817. We have a personnel action form for firefighter EMT step increase, new certification. Is Chief Heath here? No, he was here.
He just stepped out.
Okay. I'll wait till he comes back and we'll go back and look at that one. We have some town abatements. Charlie, you want to talk about those?
Yeah, there's some properties in town that I guess you could say objected to the way or the amount that their properties were assessed at. Those were given to CMP, who handles our assessment, and they came back and they agreed with a couple that were overassessed.
Okay.
They denied a few too. So what you have to sign is the tax money back.
Do we need a motion to approve those
No,
abatements?
they're just
Okay,
signed.
just sign, okay.
Yeah. And so you're aware, or in case you had concerns, we
Yeah.
budget for it. This is
Yes.
part of the overlap.
Right, I understand that.
Okay.
We also have a couple of memos in the file for CRF disbursements that we voted on in the past, so those are for your signature. And Charlie, you want to talk about the DRA Form MS 535?
Yeah,
Or
this
five-
is
yeah, 535.
pretty much the balance sheet for the town. Our auditors complete this. It's pretty much all the numbers from the past fiscal year, the voted appropriations versus what was actually expended.
Okay.
The number that I always look at is the unassigned fund balance,
Okay,
which went down a little bit when things were all said and done. But we used a pretty significant last year to lower the tax rate.
yeah,
So that amount is pretty much the difference between year to year.
okay,
What is it exactly, Charlie? What is that?
Last year was 1.1 million, this year it's 930,000.
okay.
Page
so-
7 of 9.
Yeah, so that's in the folder for signature.
Yeah, sign that and then
Yeah.
we send this to DRA.
I will hold off on the personnel action form in case Steve comes back, but if he doesn't, we will just discuss it anyway. So remind me to come back to that. Okay, department heads, Parks and Rec Director. Ann, you have something you'd like to discuss with us?
Yes, I have, Charlie should have put the letters.
They're in the folder, yep.
Okay, so I have some thank you letters for people who have helped out or donated. David Rule helped paint the bandstand with Steve Orridge, am I saying that right? Yes. Okay, and there's letters in there, I just want you guys to sign.
Yep.
Elaine Hughes Realty donated all the shirts for camp this year.
Great.
Nice.
And the Ashland Community Center donated $250 for our Adopt a Camper Fund.
Wonderful.
And there's also a personal action form in there
Okay.
for another park and rec counselor, because our numbers are at 36.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that is
Wow.
fabulous.
After the 4th of July.
Nice.
Excellent.
So it's in the budget already, I
Yes.
put in for an extra person.
Okay.
But we've hit the numbers where we need to do that.
That is fantastic. Thank you, Ann.
Just
And
wanted to
I
let
think
you-
we'll sign those acknowledgement letters quite happily, so thank you for
That's
that.
beautiful.
The 36 should have been there today. The kids look like they're having a good time
Yeah.
at the Messy Olympics.
She actually was down there today, she was just dropped by to see everything, but she's gonna start after the 4th. so
It was a
that-
great day for that.
Yes, we had the fire truck came down, washed off all the kids because we had Messy Olympics. With the cream and hot sauce and all that stuff.
No, yeah, I was tempted to start myself.
That's very nice.
That's cool.
Excellent. Great news. Okay, Town Administrator, DRA
Steve.
P28 form. Is Steve coming in? Steve?
You almost made it.
We have a personnel action form. Would you like to tell us about that, Chief?
Walter Durack.
Walter.
Yeah, Walter Durack,
Uh-huh.
firefighter EMT Walter Durack, completed level 2 fire certification at the academy, started
Okay.
in January, and the class just ended last month, and I have all the certification, and along with that, he is entitled to a grade increase, a grade increase,
Okay,
to the one that's specified on it.
all right. A motion to approve the increase.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
A second said motion.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great, well, congratulations to Walter.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. So back to you, Charlie.
Yeah.
The DRA PA28 form?
Okay, so I do need a motion to vote that we will not use this form.
Okay.
What this form is if we voted to use it, we would send out this form to every property owner in town and request them to fill out any changes to their property. If they put a new deck, a new roof, something that changes the assessment value, and then we ask them to send it back, and then we would send that to our assessors to reassess the property.
Right.
We don't really need to use the form because we have a building permit process and a building inspector that kind of does it for us.
Right.
But DRA sends the
Right.
form and we have to vote and
And
then,
we've done this every year.
yep.
So in that case, I would entertain a motion to forego the use of the PA28 form.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. What is the admin assistant, WB Mason
That's
state
Wendy's
contract? That's Wendy.
presentation.
Yes,
Wendy, okay.
So exciting.
Yeah.
Well, let's see, we're looking into getting a new water cooler, because ours is not keeping the water cold.
Oh.
And so we heard there was a state contract through our finance person, Greg Colby. So we got in touch with WB Mason, and they do have this state contract where we will save $310 a year
Good.
by leasing at 98 cents a month, and the jugs of water are a lot less.
Okay.
So-
Good job,
And then
Wendy.
whenever it,
Yes.
if it
Yeah.
breaks again, we'll just get a new one for
Yep.
free.
Great.
Nice.
Thanks.
And they also have office supplies and other things that we're going to be looking into
Yeah.
through the state
Oh,
contract.
wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, a motion to approve the WB Mason contract for the new water cooler for the town
Said
office.
motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, any other department head issues? Okay. New business. Now, we had on the agenda originally an update from the Ashland Economic Development Committee. As you may know, we had a meeting a couple of weeks ago to which we had invited the Select Board, and we also had at that meeting representatives from DES, Novus Engineering, and Lakes Region Planning. It was a really good discussion presenting the update to the brownfields and where we are and what the possible next steps could be. We had invited them to come back for a couple of reasons. Number one was to update the 2 selectmen who couldn't make it to that meeting, because there was a lot of good information, and also to have the meeting available for the public on camera. Unfortunately, 2 of those individuals weren't able to make it tonight, so we're going to reschedule in August. Rumors to the contrary, we didn't intend to have a vote tonight on taking the buildings or anything else. It was purely an update of information with an opportunity to ask more questions and to suggest perhaps public hearings, where to go from here. So I know there's been some concern that we were all set to take a vote. That wasn't the case. There's still a lot of information that needs to be shared and needs to be gleaned. It's not a simple process, and one that we have to go into with our eyes wide open. So that's just the update for the moment. Again, I hope we'll meet in August. Yes, Lee?
I just want to note that that will cause us to miss the July 31st.
For that particular
That
one,
we should
yes, it
know
will.
that.
But as we were reassured, this is for the public, there is grants that are available for cleanup that are only available if the buildings are owned by a municipality or a not-for-profit.
Right.
Obviously, they're not going to be owned by a not-for-profit. And so if we take the buildings, they'd be municipally owned, and we would be eligible for up to $400,000 of cleanup for the hazardous materials that are there, which are, by the way, are not nearly as bad as they could have been and nearly as bad as they've been in many other towns. We're very, very lucky with that. But one of the applications, a DES application, had a deadline of July 31st. We clearly are not going to make that, but we were reassured by the other people that were there that, these things come up all the time. There are EPA grants, there are LRPC grants, there are all kinds of grants out there that we can explore. So, we shouldn't feel pressured because of one particular deadline. So
good.
there'll be more information to come. And again, I urge the public to attend these meetings, to ask questions, and we certainly will not go forward without public hearings. So just stay tuned. Okay?
Fran, could I
Yes,
suggest that
absolutely.
you set up a time that we all hopefully could go through?
Walk through.
Walk through. I believe
I think that's a great idea.
Casey haven't been through it, and I
Yep.
haven't been in the boiler.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea, and I will talk to the powers that be and see if we can arrange that. I mean, maybe Chief Heath can help us out. It's
When it's
certainly, when it's cooler, yeah, do not go into it today or tomorrow, believe me. It's certainly an eye-opener, and I would encourage those of you who haven't seen it to see it, because
That'd
it's
be great.
kind of scary. I will certainly do that. Thank you, Kathleen. Any other comments before we move on? Okay, Ashland Water and Sewer Commissions. Mr. Cho, if you have something you'd like to talk to us about?
Yes, I don't know if did you get the paperwork?
Yep.
Okay. In order for us to, Water and Sewer Department to apply for the SRF loans for the asset management plan and the septic receiving station, they were approved by voters in March. We've been told, because of the way the warrant articles were written, that the selectmen have to designate pass a motion to allow the chairman of the Water and Sewer Commission to sign the application and also to sign the loan papers. And so that's what we're here asking you to do. Basically, if you pass a motion, it would entail conditions 1 through 6 on this form. So it would be allowing the chair of the Water and Sewer Commission to sign the application, and also to sign the loan papers, that the town agrees to repay the loan according to the agreement, that a certified copy of this form is presented with the application, that basically it's the same thing, that the chair be allowed to sign the loan, and that if the loan is granted, that basically the town will, or the Water and Sewer Department will operate the facility efficiently and maintain the facility after the completion of construction. So that's what this form is all about. And then that motion needs to be put in the minutes, and it needs to be, the form needs to be certified.
Okay. Are there any questions? No questions? In that case, I would entertain a motion that the Select Board would designate the Chair of the Water and Sewer Commission to sign the appropriate loan forms. Is that the motion you need?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
I would just like to say that any project that ensures the infrastructure of this town can help clean that part of town clean, keep it clean, is a good project. And I fully support it, and I think the townspeople do as well.
Great, thank you,
Yeah,
Harold.
there needs to be two motions, one for the asset management.
Okay,
plan,
so, all right, so
and one for
the first motion is for the asset management plan loan, again, as was approved by the voters in March. So let me rephrase that motion. A motion to approve the Chair of the Water and Sewer Commission to sign the loan application for the asset management plan as approved by the town voters in March.
I'll make that motion again.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Now, any further discussion? And Harold's comment, I assume, still stands.
Yes, sir.
All those in favor?
Do you want it?
What?
Oh, I think it should say CWSRF loan application.
CWSRF loan,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what's on the form.
All right. All those
Just for
in
your
favor?
minutes.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, so the second one is the
CWSRF.
WSRF
yeah.
loan for, yes.
But the asset management.
We did the asset management. This is for the septic receiving station, thank you.
Yeah, and the
And-
documentation, it's Headworks and Septic.
Okay, a motion to approve the Chair of the Water and Sewer Commission to sign the application, the CWSRF loan application for the, all of that stuff. You
Yep.
got that, Wendy?
Yep.
I'll
You
make
got
that
it.
motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, anything else?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, David.
Yeah.
Okay, a new TAP grant. Charlie?
Okay, this is really whether or not we want to send a letter to DOT to kind of, I guess you could say, get in line a little bit. Their deadline for TAP grants to acknowledge that we would like to apply
Yeah.
is by the end of the month.
Okay.
We don't have to. I mean,
Right.
we could still submit the
It's just-
letter.
yeah.
And
Right.
then, walk away from it.
Right.
It's just you have to submit the letter
Yeah.
if you want to maybe apply.
Yeah. Now, again, when we worked on these TAP applications in the past, we always envisioned this as a series of phases. Phase 1 being the main sidewalk in town. Phase 2, perhaps, obviously it's up for discussion, would be to extend it out West Street and maybe Winter Street. I think the loan, again, the TAP grant is $400,000. It's an 80/20 loan again. So it's an opportunity to extend our sidewalks to make the town even more walkable. What we do with this letter of intent is up for discussion. I should say that I was approached by a senior citizen from Common Man Commons today who was under the impression that this sidewalk project was already going up West Street. And I explained to her that...
It was mentioned.
Yeah, I explained to her that it was never intended for this particular grant to go up West Street, but that it's always been under discussion as a future phase. So this is an opportunity to perhaps extend that. And so we just need a motion to submit a letter of intent for Phase 2 of TAP grant. Is there such motion?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you, Charlie. You'll submit that?
Yes, I will.
And we will have meetings, fairly soon to discuss Phase 2. And I'm sure we'll get some key people who were involved in the past involved again. Yes,
Fran,
yes.
Are we going to have an update soon, again, on the status of the drawing? I had some questions about crossing by the Booster Club, and I just
Okay.
wondered if we were going to be...
Charlie, do you know the answer to that
I
question?
didn't hear it.
She wanted to know if we were going to have another update from the engineer on the sidewalk
Oh,
plans.
yeah,
The
yeah.
current-
Yeah, I don't know
okay.
when.
Okay.
But
Okay.
he did submit those preliminary designs.
Yeah.
We have a
Right.
hard copy in the office if
Okay.
anyone wants to see
Yeah.
it.
Okay, well, maybe we should set up something this summer. I mean, they're still designing it, right?
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
we should set up
Yeah.
something later in the summer
Yeah.
to get an
Oh, yeah.
update.
All right.
Yeah,
Is that
Mike will
okay,
be
Lee?
back.
Yeah,
All
thank
right,
Yeah, Mike
thank
will
you.
be back.
Great.
I thought you
Okay.
had something on the new business.
Should we continue?
Tony wanted to say something.
Chief, you have a comment?
I was working on Saturday and was running some radar at the beach. And in the process of doing that, I came down River Street and saw quite a mess there at the marina with cars parked everywhere,
Yes,
okay?
Yes.
So I got my little ticket book and I issued some tickets to some people. But I really think that we need to put some permanent no parking signs, especially on the right-hand edge of the road.
Yes.
Yes.
I worked on Sunday and I came in and I put up some of the temporary no parking signs like we use for the 4th of July.
right,
To keep people from parking on that right-hand side of the road in
Yeah.
certain areas that they can't get off the road.
yeah,
I did discuss it with Mr. Gar about the situation with these vehicles that are parked there.
yeah,
Some of them stick out into the traveled surface when they're parked in
yeah,
towards those docks.
yeah,
He was going to try to eliminate a couple spaces by placing some boulders there because the area is just so short.
yeah.
I'm coming to the select board asking for your permission to put some no parking signs, permanent no parking signs. As much as I hate to see more signage,
Yeah,
it's just the only way really to curb it, to
Yeah.
keep people from doing it.
yeah.
Right.
I think we have a comment from the planning board.
If a little research is done on some of the initial approval of the marina there, part of one of the conditions at that time was that that side of the street be marked permanently, no parking.
Oh,
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
wow.
the condition is there.
So I guess
Yes.
I guess I would like
Just
to
go
look at
ahead,
those
yeah.
and then we'll figure
All right.
out,
Yeah,
how far are we going to do it? Because there
Yeah.
are some places on that side of the road where people can park and get
Yeah.
off and it be not a safety issue.
right.
My job is public safety.
Yeah, no, I share your
Yeah.
concerns.
Um,
There are
so-
times when boat trailers have been there that,
Well, and I covered an accident because of some people trying to back in for a boat
Yeah.
trailer.
yeah,
Okay, so it's creating
Yeah.
some issues now, more so than I think in the past. And I understand everybody wanting to get out of their boat and enjoy the water, but
right,
it's,
of course.
and let's face it, when our fire department responds out there, they have to go out River Street.
That's right,
They can't cross
absolutely.
that covered bridge, so
Right.
that traveled way needs to make sure that it's clear of obstructions for them when they're responding. So I think a few no parking signs out there would help.
Okay, well, I would entertain a motion from the select board to authorize Chief Randall to explore the situation and put up signs as he feels necessary.
I'll make that motion.
Wait a minute, concerning Mardine's comment, I don't think we need to, I think he just needs to go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
We don't need to make a motion.
all right, that's fine
Yeah,
then.
and
I'm happy
I
with
want to look
that.
at those
Look at
approvals
Yeah.
to make
Thank
sure
you,
that
thank
it's
you,
all,
Martine.
Yeah, okay,
so that I can at least look
Yeah.
at that, okay?
yes,
And thank Martine.
yes, thank you, Marty.
I believe Carolyn Goss was on the select board when that was approved, and she spoke to Norm about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think it came up 3 years ago, maybe.
Mhm.
But she said that was part of the conditions.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it
I'll-
should be
I'll
on
check into
file.
it.
okay,
and
if
I'll
you would,
proceed
and then
accordingly as long
please
as-
do, yeah.
And the little green guys are out at the beach.
I noticed, thank you to whoever put the little
Okay,
green
so
guys up,
we've
so
already-
I hope, Ann, it's helping.
Yeah, they
We've-
go in and out every night.
Okay,
They're going to
good.
Snapchat,
We've-
so they don't walk.
We've
away.
tried to stop
His
by
name's
here, I've
Charlie.
stopped by a few times to do radar.
Yeah,
One gentleman stopped and said, oh, no speed bumps, and I advised him that no, we swapped out the speed bumps for tickets.
I love it.
So maybe the word will get around and they'll
Maybe.
start to slow down. We
Yep.
spend time out there
Yep.
when we can, but it's very limited.
Yeah, of course, of
Okay.
course, thank you.
you.
Appreciate the update, thank you.
I'd like to add conversely that that intersection there where Tony's speaking of, with the problems we're having with people speeding down the hill with those cars parked there, it really eliminates any vision around.
Oh,
that corner.
absolutely, it's dangerous.
So, I mean, I think it's our duty to take care of the situation
Yes.
as soon as
Absolutely.
possible.
Yes,
Yep.
Harold.
Definitely, thank you, Harold. Okay, any other new business? Okay, in that case, old business, town administrator,
Yeah.
semi-annual update.
Okay, so generally, as you know, I give these once a month, but I thought maybe I created one that is what's really been going on around town for our departments over the past 6 months. Kind of good things, I think, what we've been doing. So, as I said, I mean, this report compiles activity that occurred over the first 6 months and just under the department heads that are under the direction of the board. I don't, nothing with water and sewer, library, anything like that. But overall, I believe that the departments are being fiscally responsible for the taxpayers. They are working collaboratively across departments in an efficient and effective manner. They have found innovative ways to upgrade and replace our capital equipment, and furthermore, discovering new ways to better administer our public services. The town office, we've been doing a lot of things in the town office, collectively and administratively. We replaced the security cameras with new cameras that are for better safety for the public in the front office. We finished the installation of the smoke and heat detectors, project that we started last year. Now in the event of a fire, people in the building will be alerted, and the fire department will be notified remotely. Before we just had smoke detectors.
Yeah.
The L-chip study has been moving along. We selected an architect for the project. We started our interviews and questionnaires that they've asked us to complete. You know, the questionnaires are about how our town office building will better suit the needs of staff and the public. We signed the agreement with for the digital parcel audit. That's the GIS mapping. We continue on the reconstruction of sidewalks from West Street to Gordon Street. That's the TAP grant. Starts at West Street, right?
Starts at West Street, yes.
We completed an NHDOT process to select the engineer. The board negotiated a contract. Both were approved by NHDOT. Engineering has started, and the project design was presented at 2 public hearings, with more to follow later in the year. Now, this sidewalk project at the end will make our pedestrian crossing safer. It's going to be ADA compliant, and it's going to improve the drainage system on that road. Now, we submitted a state revolving fund loan application, pre-application to NHDS Clean and Drinking Water State Revolving Fund. This is for the reconstruction of Thompson Street, Smith Hill Road, and High Street. Now, our pre-application, we requested grant money for this project and principal loan forgiveness. Hopefully that overall our application is an attempt to save significant amount of money for the taxpayers with this project. We also installed a fiber optic cable into our building at the town office. You know, the new cable has reduced our drop phone calls. I don't know if anyone's called in the past year and a half, and phones are always dropping. You know, this allows staff to work without interruptions on our iCloud, which really protects our documents in the event that anything happens. We're able to have it safely on the cloud. The transition to fiber was no additional cost from switching from cable internet. We just recently approved for a new copier. The new agreement it saves us money, and in the process of upgrading to newer equipment has allowed the staff to be more efficient with their time. The second floor, we put some trim finish on the second floor windows. Apparently that wasn't done when the asbestos was cleaned out up there,
okay.
I think. Yeah, so DPW helped with that. The town audit was just complete. I expect us to receive our copies within the next coming weeks. In my opinion, the town is in a sound financial position. The capital reserves are really supporting our efforts and our projects that we're able to do. The unassigned fund balance is a little bit low, but we're still within that 5 to 15% range where it's recommended that we should be. Department heads were issued credit cards for department expenditures. Staff no longer must use their own personal card for town expenses. The Board of Selectmen recently adopted new policy to clarify our appointment process. Let's see. DPW, they crack sealed some roads, Collins Street, Short Street, Glove Street, River Street, Highland Street, and Albrook Road. We purchased a used pickup truck to replace the garage truck that had a failing transmission. We also purchased a used excavator, which is safer for employees and allows staff to be more efficient and effective with their time as well. DPW was able to complete other projects they couldn't before, and in the end, saving the taxpayers more money. We also updated the DPW office. They got a new computer system. There's a fresh coat of paint in the office, new ceiling tiles, new flooring, and purchased 2 used desks from the state auction. And it, again, saved the town money. DPW cleaned up the river walk. They removed debris, added loam, plants, and wood chips along the river walk.
Nice.
Yep. Replaced the culvert and catch basin on Washington Street. They started to ditch, grade, and seal dirt roads. There were some, Craig told me there were some roads that hadn't been ditched in years. And what, I don't know if anyone's seen them out in the road, they're cutting it back. So instead of the water sort of running over the hill and then down under the road, which really what made Thompson Street bad, it's to carry the water along the side of the road.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen them.
it's
That's
good.
what that new piece of equipment was.
That's,
designed
that's
for.
the new
Yeah.
equipment it helped with. So, and they worked with other departments during the major storm. I don't know if you guys remember that, but we had a big spring storm and they helped out the electric department
I remember
cleaning
well.
some of those down trees. The police department ordered a new police cruiser for the department. It was ordered, detailed, and outfitted with equipment. We hired a new sergeant that has prior experience, and a new patrolman. The new security cameras were replaced for the old ones. Now, the public is safe also on the PD side, and they help the PD better with their interviews. The National Drug Take Back was a success. PD took back 24.6 pounds of expired and unused drugs.
Good.
Wow.
Yeah. And the lieutenant completed the DARE program with 7th graders. I don't know if anyone saw today the fire department and the new fire engine over there.
Yes,
Yeah.
excellent.
That was analyzed, built, tested, and as I just said, delivered. The new ballistic vest helmets, I believe they were purchased, but I think he's already got those.
Yes, they were.
Yep.
They-
Yep, those just came in. They had CPR training at no cost to the public. The department had more training, review of hydrant operations, EMS training, life safety code inspections for assembly and rental occupancies, truck inspections and quality assurance reviews for medical incidents. Parks and Rec started fundraising for a new and improved playground at Tallinn Park. They, as Ann mentioned earlier, we hired more staff for the summer camp for the great program that they have. Continue to purchase healthy snacks and drinks at a reduced price from the food bank. They installed a new shed at the town beach. DPW helped with that, and painted the gazebo. So, a lot of good things going on in town.
That is
wonderful.
excellent,
A lot of good
Charlie. That's
things.
so good to hear that
Yeah.
list, because
Thank
we often
Yeah.
hear what we do wrong. It's
Yeah.
nice to get a list of the things that have been accomplished in the town. And our thanks to all the department heads and staff for all of the hard work, and to you especially
Yeah.
for spearheading these
Sure.
efforts. So it's
Yeah.
really good to share this.
It is, yeah.
Thank you.
And I'd like to thank the town for the support. I mean,
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
the town really showed their support this year with the warrant.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people in town support the staff.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. No, it's good news.
I hope this is
Great.
how everybody else that's sitting up here feels. This is why we're here. I mean,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
this is what we were voted to do.
Absolutely.
To help see this process through.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think it's excellent what's been done
I do
since
too.
March.
It's
Oh,
a remarkable list.
Yes.
It really
Yeah.
is.
I think
hope I didn't miss anything.
Oh, well, late to the game, sorry.
That's okay.
The only one thing that I saw that was missed was the new fans that were installed at the transfer station for the very
Okay.
hot
They
days
were-
like today.
Ah, yes, okay. All
Like
right.
one in
Put
and the
that
other
on the
one's
list.
going in this week.
Right, right.
Nice.
And it would be nice to hear from the departments not mentioned. You know, I'd like to get their updates too and let the town know, because I know there's been a lot of good things done by Water and Sewer and the library and electric department, and, you know, we all ought to hear about it. Because this is a great little town we got here. We ought to
Yeah.
brag about it. Okay, anything else for old business? Okay, hearing none, select board items. You need to plan a couple meetings, Charlie?
Yeah, legal counsel, we requested having a non-meeting with them. I
Yeah.
thought maybe, Stephen said maybe the 16th, right before our next meeting.
Yeah.
How
6
much
o'clock.
time would he need? 6 o'clock? Is that okay with
that
everybody?
work?
Yeah, it's fine.
6?
Yeah.
All right. And the other one is with Williams Architect.
Okay.
Now, does he want to meet during the day?
He did say 11 to 12.
That's good.
It's good for most of us, I
And
know.
that's good time.
Yeah.
As long as you fill out the questionnaire, you should
Yeah,
be
if you
fine.
fill out the
Because he's
questionnaire.
taking all that information and he's compiling
Yeah.
it to analyze everyone's responses.
So,
It's up to you guys when you want to meet.
well, I'm out of commission all next week, I told you that.
Well, didn't you say the sooner, the better,
Yeah. So
because
the
he's ready to
12th, he said the 12th,
Yeah.
the 13th, the 16th, 17th, or 18th.
Let's do it the same week as the 16th.
Yeah,
That week.
yeah, I'll
Like
definitely,
the 17th or 18th.
Yeah,
and
that-
get it-
that's fine.
Get it done after.
The 18th?
yeah,
On a Wednesday, or?
yeah,
Sure.
any of those days, fine with
I don't know,
me.
which
Is that
calendar
okay
say?
with you?
Which
Is
calendar
that right
say?
with you?
Wednesday, the
I mean,
18th.
if I know in advance.
Yeah.
I should-
Wednesday, the
Okay.
18th?
At 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock?
11.
o'clock?
11.
That's fine with me.
Okay.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay.
And that would be here?
No.
Or the
Town
conference
off-
room?
Town
The
office.
conference room, yeah, okay.
And same with the July 16th, town hall?
July 16th.
With the lawyer, it would
It'd
be
be
here
here.
in
Yeah.
advance of our
Yeah.
meeting, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, for those of you who don't know what a non-meeting is, it's a meeting that we're allowed to have with legal counsel for which there's no public
Posting,
input
yeah.
or posting or minutes or anything else. It's something we're allowed to do to discuss legal strategy.
So non-meeting.
It's a non-meeting, okay? Any other select board items?
I'd like to mention, let's go over the sidewalk, and Chief Randall can speak to it too. A rental truck tried to come up to Village Pizza, Elaine Hughes, and bottomed out
Oh, God.
and had
That's
to be
the fourth
towed
one in 5
away.
years.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, it got stuck?
we need to mark that on our plan.
I think they're well aware of that, but yeah, for sure.
Somehow, that's going to have to be addressed in some
Yeah.
way, even if it's signage or something.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we did discuss that at one of our meetings, that's I think Harold pointed out that cars bottom out on that driveway, and it's been a problem.
Yes.
So,
And since I was here early,
yes, ma'am.
I got to sit in the new fire truck.
It's very nice, very nice, yes.
Did you use the siren?
No, but I did put on my seatbelt, so
Yes.
the alarm would not go on. And I was allowed to touch the touchpad for all their input.
Yeah, it's very
And-
impressive.
But I needed help to get in
It's-
and get out because it's so
It's a
freaking
tall
high.
truck.
Yes.
Yeah, I got a tour of it as well, and it's fabulous. So town's very, very lucky, and I'm glad that voters finally approved it. So
Yeah.
it will serve us well. I mean, this
No.
truck is going to have all kinds of wonderful features on it, so I'm very excited. I'm sure Steve would like to tell us more about it at some point. Any other select board items? Yes, Lee?
Just briefly, yesterday, the Heritage Committee sponsored the Squamstock event in Holderness at the
Yes.
Science Center. I was there, it was 150 degrees out. So we didn't have quite the crowd that we had hoped, but we did have a pretty good turnout.
Good.
And we had a great art exhibit by both the schools, Holderness and Ashland.
Nice.
And a silent auction, selling the art, and the money will go towards both Ashland and Holderness
Right.
elementary schools art projects.
Right.
And we had a lot of face painting, and Alex Ray made hand squeezed lemonade,
Oh, nice.
and we had a tug of war, and it was wonderful.
Excellent. I'm so sorry I couldn't make it, but unfortunately something came up, so, but thank you for going, and I know you went, Kathleen, as well,
And
so.
Kathleen went also.
Yeah, great,
Yes.
great. Okay, anything else for select board items?
I had 4th of July, but Kendall stole my thunder.
Okay, sorry, Harold. You snooze, you lose. It's
But you're
okay.
doing a good job, Harold.
Yeah, thank you, Harold.
I did drive a Mustang on the parade.
Okay. Any other select board items? In that case, are there public comments? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to go into non-public pursuant to 91A, RSA 91A, 3, Roman numeral 2, small letter A, employment.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye.